Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Two-Player Co-op Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Sean.
How we doing?
Fantastic. If this is... that's crazy. If this is the first time you're hearing us or seeing or listening to us, this is the Two-Player Co-op Podcast, where just about every week, two brothers get together to tell you everything you need to know about in the world of video games. If you like that, make sure you like the video, subscribe, share it with all of your friends, family, and everyone in betwixt. If you're listening on audio services around the multiverse, please leave us a 5-star review and make Dustin Starr proud. If you really like us, you can go to patreon.com/2playercoop, just like our producers Steve Appleton, Aunt Sue, and Vernon Slayton did, as well as our affiliate, the homie, live in the chat, James Solar. If you like cool t-shirts and other merch items, you can go to teespring.com/stores/2playercoop, just like some of y'all did, including James Solar. And I don't know who else. Nick Schiavone. Who else?
Not Mom.
Not Mom. Mom's not even a patron. She's dead to us.
But Aunt Sue is... Shout out to Aunt Sue.
Yep. I'm kidding, Mom. I love you. You'll never see this. Also, I burped. Sorry, Mom. 25 cents in the shut up jar. I don't know.
Was that ever a thing? I remember it was a thing, but I don't remember ever...
I feel like we did it for a week or two.
I don't remember ever putting money in there.
Oh, I did. Sean, shut up. Kevin. Ding. Yeah.
But then she was fine if we said, like, shut your mouth, or if we said it in French,
fermez la bouche. Yeah.
You just can't say shut up. But you could say, like, shut your mouth.
But I get it. Now that I have kids, I'm like, don't say shut up. It does. When it's one kid talking to another, you don't want to hear them say shut up. There's something weird. Shut. And I say that to them all the time. I'm like, just shut it. It's different.
Do you remember when Farthead was bad, too? I don't know if it was... Farthead? I don't know if it was ever like a dollar, like a quarter,
it was never
a jar thing. No. But we went through a spell where like Farthead, and it wasn't said like in like a funny way. Like it was said in a way that we would say like
Farthead.
Yeah, and I can't remember if it was mom or dad.
Head.
Somebody did not like us saying Farthead.
I don't remember that.
I do.
How did you spell it?
F-U-A-R-T, of course.
So our mom just got a new Honda CR-V, and the VIN is like 7. The first 5 characters are 7FART. And when I saw that, I was like, this isn't real. There's no way. But it was awesome.
I wonder if she got the diesel one, what the VIN would be.
Seven.
No.
BIGDADDYCOOL. I don't know where you're going with it.
What the VIN of the diesel would be?
Oh, okay. You're an idiot.
Thank you.
We're both idiots. You're welcome. You're an idiot. Until we are out of this pandemic, I will tell you each and every week to please go ahead and wear your woohoo mask.
Earmuffs, Sarah.
James Solar is the only one that can hear it, and Sarah, even though she's a freeloader. We're recording this Monday night because Sunday night wouldn't work for Sean because they had something much more important to do, which we'll talk about here in a second. First off, I do want to say this was like the biggest thing in video games this past week. We're not talking about GameStop because I don't know enough to talk about it. I don't have an opinion one way or the other, and that's that. Hedge funds, whatever, shorting stocks, I don't know enough to even talk about it. And if it was anything not related to GameStop, it wouldn't be a thing, so we're not going to talk about it. Do you have any thoughts?
As long as it doesn't adversely affect my 401k,
who cares?
do what you got to do. I don't care.
Yep, so that's that. Also, for all of you Resident Evil Village vampire enthusiasts, if in case you missed the news, Capcom let us know that Lady Dimitrescu is 9 foot 6 inches tall if you count her hat.
Why would you count her hat?
So she's 9 feet tall, basically.
9 feet tall, that's pretty tall.
It's tall, but I said 12 to 15. I still feel like the way she ducks through that door that one time in the trailer, she looks way taller than...
But remember, that's a really old castle.
You assume.
And people used to be short.
I'm still short.
Well, people used to be even shorter than you.
Oh.
When I was in Ireland going through castles, the doors were like 5 feet tall.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
So, yeah.
I got a haircut.
I was going to say, you also have one of those gray...
Do I have one of the things?
It's gray. Or maybe it's not gray. Maybe it's just catching the light. But
No, it's gray.
Probably.
Sean.
Yes.
You could not record yesterday because of, for the first time in a year and a half, probably. Or did you watch the Rumble last year? Even though you hated WWE.
I watched.
Okay.
I even watched WrestleMania.
Oh, that's right.
It just wasn't very good. But
What'd you think of the Rumble? I will say I hate on WWE all the time, but the way the men's Rumble went and the fact that Goldberg did not win the title, I'm like, okay, thank you.
all things considered, it was pretty good. I'm glad there was just the 2 Royal Rumble matches and 2 other matches, and that was it. The women's Rumble went about how it typically does. I was happy for Bianca Belair. I don't really know much about her, but
people love her. I've never. It was after I stopped watching, so I don't care.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah.
The Roman Owens match was just, a lot of people seemed to like it. I thought it was just very
well. Please tell me about the ending, because I have not seen any clips, but it seems like just reading tweets that it was one of the worst endings of a match ever.
So Owens was in control. Roman starts getting back in control. He disappears for a little bit, comes back with one of those weird pairs of handcuffs that you only see in wrestling, where the chain connecting the cuffs is like 2 feet long.
Like that does nothing.
So Roman, how did it go? I think Owens, kind of mounted a comeback, got the handcuffs from him, handcuffed him. It was one of those, I guess it was probably supporting like a screen or lights, one of those big like squares of metal with like,
yeah.
And he like put his arm inside of it and like handcuffed the other thing to, part of it, whatever. So you couldn't get up on his feet.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, he's going to win. Refs counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. 6, 7, 8, 9. Roman grabbed the ref, threw him into like something to like knock him out to stop the count. Heyman comes over with the key. Meanwhile, new ref shows up, starts counting, gets to like 5 or 6. Clearly, Heyman was supposed to have Roman out of the handcuffs by then and just couldn't. He's like reaching in there, and you can tell he's just like, and he's just like, it won't unlock, and the ref just like, they like just kind of zoom in, so the ref's now out of the picture, and he's just not counting anymore. He probably could have counted to like 15 before they finally got him out, and then Roman basically just like put him in a chokehold and choked him out, and then that was the end.
Oh my God.
It was stupid.
Like, obviously Roman's winning, but yeah.
Yeah, the men's Rumble was fun.
Carlito is jacked.
Carlito looks great. I hope he sticks around.
Yeah.
Like the fact that, what's his name last year? MVP has stuck around for a year now after just kind of randomly showing up. I wonder, he seems like he got a good reaction. Like everybody was talking about it, so maybe he'll stay around. Not that I'll be really watching, but I've always liked Carlito.
That's cool.
That's not cool. When Christian came out, I popped a little bit. Not like Edge last year, but I thought that was pretty cool. Christian and AJ were going at it. I'm like, that's cool. That was not cool.
Impact.
And then Edge was, getting the crap beat out of him at the time. And like when Christian came out, it was just perfect. Like
the hug.
Even before that, they like,
okay.
I think it was when Christian was still walking out. They just happened to like cut to Edge, and he like gradually looked up and saw him, and it was just like, and he just like smiled and like, oh, this is awesome. And then they went in, they, fought everybody off, and then they hugged. So that was pretty cool. But the whole time I'm like, I seem to be one of the few people that actually, I like Randy Orton. I don't understand the hate he gets.
Yeah. He's going to win it.
But I'm like, yeah, I don't like when they do a whole Rumble that centers around one feud. Like, I just don't.
Like
just don't
99
like it.
with Stone Cold and Vince.
Right. But I'm like, I see what they're doing. The announcers are just like, oh, here's your final four. It's Edge. I don't even remember who it was, but no mention of Orton, even though earlier in the match you're like, now remember, he's not eliminated. And then they all forgot.
Why did he go to the back? Did he get hurt?
Yeah, Edge was hitting him in the knee with a chair or something. To his credit, I think he sold it well because they kept showing him and he was just like sitting against like the barricade. And he just looked annoyed. And he's
Orton?
Just like hitting the thing. Like he
Like
looked
I can't
like
stand.
Yeah, it looked like it maybe wasn't actually supposed to happen. He was like legitimately annoyed that he's hurt now. But the way they kept talking about it and they showed him backstage with the doctors, working on his knee. I'm like, okay, well, he's coming back. And I'm like, oh, God. So, okay, that's what's going to happen. He's going to come back, whatever. It was down to Edge and Rollins. Edge threw Rollins out with like a really like tight shot of it. Edge is like, yeah. And then he goes to turn around. I'm like, okay. And then sure enough, RKO. I'm like, come on.
So I saw that. I never saw how Edge actually
He
threw him out.
RKO'd him. He picked him up, basically just went to throw him. Edge kind of did
Spun.
one of those, like stopped, and he threw him out instead. And just like that, he was gone. I was like, oh my God. Like,
Edge is in great shape too for being 46, 7, whatever he is now.
Is he that old?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
I mean, we lost him for 9 years.
Yeah. But yeah, it was cool. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people, pretty much everybody, took the bait, hook, line, and sinker. Like, WWE knew exactly, everybody's going to think that he's going to come back and win it. And they went right up to the point where he was just about to win it. And then just like, nope, threw him out. So it was cool. I don't see any way where they do Edge versus Roman or Edge versus McIntyre.
It makes no sense.
I'm guessing Orton
has
beats
to get one of the belts.
Yeah, he'll beat McIntyre
I
probably.
think, yeah.
And then so they can
But
do...
then you got this whole stupid Fiend thing hanging out there. By the way, all his burns are healed now, I guess. I hate... Oh, my God.
It's stupid. But yeah, I mean, it was the Rumble. Even when wrestling's stupid, the Royal Rumble's always fun. It was good. It was better than I kind of thought it would be.
Yeah.
So.
Well, good.
Yeah.
I think I probably do. The only reason I'm thinking I might not like re-up for WrestleMania is the whole 2-night thing is just stupid.
Yeah. It doesn't need to be. I mean, I would rather have 2 back-to-back 3-hour pay-per-views than 1 like 6-hour pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But still, it just doesn't need to be 6 hours in general.
No.
No. 4 hours is plenty. Cut down all the BS, like video packages and stuff between matches. Like between the Women's Rumble and the Owens and Roman match, I think it was literally like 20 or 25 minutes between when the Rumble ended and the next match began. Like,
what are we doing?
And that's why it took 4 hours to do. Now, granted, 2 of them are Royal Rumble matches, but 4 matches in 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like, stupid.
Yep. Agreed. Before we get into what we have been playing, we put out a video on Monday, which is our Habroxia 2 review. And I think it's the best video we've ever done. I do have a bone to pick, though, because I checked it earlier, and we were at like 26 likes, and now we're at 21. And
really,
I don't know what the hell. It's like every time we have a video going out that I'm super excited about, YouTube, I don't know what the hell you do, but it drives me insane to see our likes just disappear. And I don't get it. But if you have not watched it yet, please go watch it and like it. If you did watch it and you did not like it, go back and give us a like, because YouTube's trying to screw us over. They're like, you don't like Bob Mackey. We're going to take away your likes. But in all seriousness, I think it's the best video we've ever done. I think it's right up there with some of our Versus episodes. Super proud of it. And it's only 5 minutes or so, but go watch it. It's a super fun game now that we can actually talk about it.
Yes.
It is my 59th platinum. I tweeted earlier today the video where I got the platinum. I was the 13th ever platinum on the game. Sean, of course, got the 8th platinum.
Not too shabby.
No.
After like at least 2 or 3 of... Were both people ahead of Colin, like Lily Mo people? Do you know? I assume, because they're both before the game even.
One's Lilymo, and then the other one is Tidix, who is like a super like PSN leaker, like a video game leaker guy.
Okay.
So I don't know if he just got it earlier than we got it and then just plowed through it. But it makes sense that Lilymo got the first platinum and then Colin got the third.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, you can see it in our review. It is crazy because I was watching James Solar's Let's Plays on Habroxia after we had already got the video ready to go and everything. And I was watching it. I was like, oh, man, I forgot this is how it is. Like, I really liked Habroxia 1, but the fact that 2 has the twin stick controls completely changes the game for the better. I can't imagine ever going back and playing Habroxia 1. Honestly, it would be tough to go back and play like Gradius or R-Type or something like that, where the only way you can shoot is what you're looking at.
Yeah, that really changes things.
But yeah, it's a great game. Watch the video, like I said, if you haven't already. Like it, share it, subscribe if you haven't already. It would mean the world to us. Super proud of that video. And check out Habroxia 2 Wednesday, February 3rd. Which for non-patrons is when this goes live. So check it out. Sean.
Yes.
Let's talk Cyber Shadow.
So did you play any more today?
Yes.
Okay, then yes, let's talk.
I have gotten to the final boss.
Oh, okay. So did you find the last chapter as bad as I did? I hate that mechanic of doing the pogo things, especially when you have to go from enemy to enemy, especially when there's like crap flying everywhere. That part drove me nuts.
A lot of times what I would do, I died 7, 8, 9. I cannot wait to beat this and see that I've died 700 times. I died 10 to 12 times there, I think. But after about my third try, I was like, okay, I get this. I get how to, because you can jump through the enemy as long as they're not shooting you.
I realized
you can jump
that
through them and then pogo.
Yeah.
But I would like get up as high as I could, and then I would kill the enemies. Did you find the item over on the left?
Yeah.
Okay. That
made
it
popped
a lot better.
that trophy for me.
Oh, the number 8? I got it before then.
Oh, that weapon with like the little yo-yo thing.
That's the first time you got it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I think I got it at one of the checkpoint things earlier in the game that I bought it because I was like, I don't know what that is. What
is it called? Do you remember?
No.
Yeah, that was when I finally got that trophy. I had never seen it before,
okay.
But yeah.
Cyber Shadow is a good game. It is also, and I don't think I'm exaggerating here, it may be, at least within the last 20 years, 30 years, the hardest game I have played. Like you were saying to Bernardo, and maybe James, I can't remember if he was on the thread yet then. Demon Souls seems like it's
a cakewalk compared to this.
Cuphead, not as tough as this. What was the other one that you said?
Bloodborne.
Well, I can't comment on that. Hollow Knight. This game is ridiculously hard.
So my thing is, on all of those other 4 games, when I die, I don't usually get too upset. I'm like, okay, I know what went wrong there. Okay, I screwed up. I played that horribly. Blah, 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 whatever. This, 9 times out of 10 when I die, I'm like, this is stupid. Like, what was I supposed to do there? Yeah. It's just like, why are we we look way louder today.
Don't worry about it. It's because it was to a different one. I can't change it now. It'll fix it and post it.
But yeah, in this, it's like, if I die, I didn't necessarily learn anything. When I die in Demon Souls and Bloodborne, and usually probably Cuphead too, it's like when I die, I'm like, now boss fights are one thing because there's patterns to learn, whatever. But for the most part, it's just like, either it's a cheap death where it's like, oh, I'm going to jump, and then right when I'm midair, this green thing comes off screen and just hits me and I fall into a pit and die. Or it's just like bullet hell and there's just like stuff flying everywhere and I'm just like, what am I supposed to do here? Yeah. Drove me nuts.
It's funny. So Colin's been talking that this game, so he called this, what do you call it?
Mega
Ninja Man X Or do you call it
Mega
Mega
Gaiden.
Gaiden? Mega Gaiden. I said actually it's Gaiden Hard Corps. This game to me is Ninja Gaiden.
Got it totally backwards.
No,
What do you
I
call
know,
it?
but
Ninja Man X?
But I can't call it like Ninja Hard Corps because
No, I'm just saying
Yeah,
what
I know.
you got
I know,
his
I know,
thing
I know.
totally. What did he call it? Ninja Man X?
It's not Mega Man X. It's Mega Gaiden. But there are certain parts in this game, and the whole robot like aesthetic of it like reminds me so much of Contra Hard Corps mixed with
Especially like
Ninja
the mech
Gaiden.
part.
Yes,
At
the
that part,
mech
I'm
and
like,
the bike.
and that was maybe my favorite part of the game.
That was when I was like, okay, maybe I'll keep playing because this is awesome.
Yeah.
The game is beautiful. The pixel art is awesome. The music is pretty darn good, I would say. I don't think it's as good as The Messenger or Shovel Knight, but that's tough to get past that. At least with this, when you jump in this game, you can control your jump.
Yeah.
It's not a Castlevania jump, but I think in Ninja Gaiden you could control your jump, right?
I don't remember.
But the knockback in this is what I
It's
remember from
brutal.
the NES. There's so many times where I'm like, I'm jumping and I do like my jump dash and I come out of it too early and then I get hit with a fireball and I fall onto spikes and it's pow, pow, pow.
Yeah. I will say the double jump was long overdue. Because I
it was
remember
way too
earlier
late.
in the
Yeah.
game, I'm like, a double jump would do
Well,
wonders
there's all
for
these
this
things
game.
that you see, all these items that are high up, and I'm like, oh my god! Like, I'm not going to go back and play, and I have not gone back to any levels. I am plowing through this
Yeah.
as much as I can. I have not replayed anything. I know I could go back and, like, you see on the overworld map that there's like alternate paths and stuff. I'm like, no, I don't care. I'm not getting the platinums. I'm just trying to get through this as quickly as I can.
Yeah. I think my biggest issue with the game, other than it kind of reminds me of like Streets of Rage 3. Like,
Yeah.
difficult just for the sake of being difficult. Not good difficult. Like, stupid difficult. And the thing is, I like the game. It's
Yeah,
not
I
a
do
bad
too.
game.
Yeah.
It's way too hard, and I'm not... I platinumed Bloodborne, Demon Souls, Cuphead, Hollow Knight. I'm not bad at video games. This game is just...
I am.
This game is just stupid hard. The other thing that what really bothers me about it is because it is a good game. What bothers me so much is how close they were to having a masterpiece. Why can I not freaking duck? Why do you take a move that is beloved in every other game, the little pogo attack, and make it so stupid that when you jump and do it, instead of just pointing your sword down,
There's
you
a
go
pause.
"Whee!"
Yeah.
and then down. It screws up the timing every time. Why? I kind of like how you have your little special moves and stuff, but why does it force you to do the special move version? If I just want to pogo through a crack in the floor, why do I have to use SP to do it? Why
Yes.
can't I just... There's just so many weird choices that were made in this game that make no sense. And if you remove them, the game doesn't suffer at all. It is so much better.
Yes.
And it's not like it removes all the difficulty. The game would still be ridiculously hard. But like, if you could do the pogo jump and just have it be a normal like Shovel Knight or DuckTales pogo jump, that alone would make a huge difference. If you could duck, if you could... I mean, you can do kind of the up attack by
But only if
holding
no SP.
down.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there's just... I
it
don't
should
know
not be up
where
and attack.
these decisions came from.
That they should have had
You
the
have
special
other
attack
buttons,
beyond
too.
triangle, so
Yes.
you can do an up attack or a down attack without like having to use your special.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to do the pogo stick that has all the fire and stuff, you would just jump and then push down in triangle, or you
Yep.
can do a regular one with down because that's a.
Yeah. Like, if this were a bad game and they did all that, I would just be like, this game's stupid. How
Yeah.
did they mess this up so bad? It's like, this is a good game. It's still, all things considered, now that I've had some time away from it,
Yeah.
a 7 to 8 out of 10, I think. It's a
Yeah.
good game. But it would have been at least a 9. Just make those changes. That would have been that would have pushed it at least to a 9.
Also, so I wrote here, your invincibility when you get hit,
You have like no iframes.
half a second.
Yeah.
Like you if you move, like you take 2 steps, you can get hit again. That is way too short. I'm 11 hours in, almost 12 hours into this game trying to beat this stupid thing. You beat it in 8.5, so I cannot wait to see how many times I've died. I'm 11, 12 hours into this game, still like pushing down an attack when I see a fireball coming at me like I'm going to duck. Oh, damn it, I can't.
And then he goes,
duck.
whee!
Yes.
Fireballs to the sky. Yeah.
Some of the checkpoints are so spaced apart that it is insane. And this is not like Shovel Knight where it doesn't really matter where the checkpoints are. You'll be okay as long as you know what you're doing. Like Sean was saying, because they made the game so friggin' difficult, there are some times that like all my whole thing for so many levels in this game, I'm like, I get so frustrated that I'm just like, I am just trying to do whatever I'm going to brute force my way through this just to try to get to that next friggin' checkpoint. I'm not paying attention to the levels, to the enemies or the patterns or anything because I'm so sick of this effing level and I just want to get to the next checkpoint so I can turn my PlayStation off and take a breath. Like I cannot play this game for more than an hour at a time. I played it on lunch today, which is how I got to the final boss. And the first part of that final boss fight, super easy.
Once you learn the pattern, I literally
never get hit.
I think I got hit by him like the first 1 or 2 times, and then after that, the next 20 times or however many times it took to beat the boss, I never got hit at the first boss again.
So on the final boss,
the second part is by far the worst.
Oh, there's
not
3
by
parts.
far. There's 3.
Great.
But the third part's somewhere in between 1 and 2. It's not terribly different from 2. There's just too much crap going on in 2. There's not that much going on in the third part.
Okay, but in 2, the one thing I still don't know, no spoilers here, but this is going to be vague terms. When it looks like the shell is over the thing.
You have to hit it to open it.
You do.
And then you hit him.
I was like, is this thing just bouncing me or am I opening him back up so I can actually hit him?
Yeah, you have to hit it to open him.
Okay.
And I don't think the first hit does any damage. It also bounces you back unless you're doing like the dash attack. Then you can go right through it. That may even do damage as you're passing through, but it at least doesn't knock you back. But
I feel like I can beat the final boss.
You can, yeah.
If I've gotten this far, my God.
You need to get, if you can get to the final, do you know how many HP, how many health things you have, bars,
I'm
whatever?
not sure, no.
I would say if you get, I think every damage
I must have
you take.
10 or 11.
I think I had 11.
Okay.
I think every damage you take, at least in parts 2 and 3, I don't know about part 1, I think it does 3 health down.
Okay.
So you want to have, I think when I finally beat it, I got to the third boss one time with like 8 or 9 HP. And I didn't beat it. I mean, the third part. When I finally beat it, I don't think I got hit on the third part.
Okay.
The third part's nowhere near as easy as the first, but it's definitely more pattern based. Now you may need to get to it 2 or 3 times before
you learn
realize what's going on. But you'll beat it. If you've made it this far, you'll beat it.
Chapter 8, I was DMing
Chapter
James.
8. I did not realize for the longest time, those stupid star-looking things with like the pink flames that come out as you get close, and they get bigger as you get closer.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I didn't know you could kill them. I feel like I hit it multiple times and it didn't disappear.
I would just do a charge.
So there were times when you had to like,
then,
these platforms are doing this, but then there's like things right here. And I'm trying to like fall, and then double jump to go underneath it to land on the platform. It was driving me nuts. Then once I finally destroyed one, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
That wasn't for me. It was, so there's this part in Chapter 8 that you'll know it when you get there. You jump down a hole, and there's the bomb things. You do a pogo stick, and it blows them up. And then you throw a Ninja Star, or if you buy the upgrade. Oh, that's the other thing at checkpoints. Some of them you can buy upgrades, get your health back, all that other stuff. That's cool. It was great for me. I died 100 times in this part. And then you blow up this other thing, and then there's the guy walking along the spikes, shooting up, whatever. You wait for him to go under. You jump. Okay, cool, boom. And then you fall down.
No idea what you're talking about.
But then you fall down. There's one of the purple guys flying around that they never line up with you, so you can Ninja Star them.
Yeah. Oh, I hate those guys.
Then they're not as bad as the bugs. Solar knows. You get down and you land on the thing where you can either pogo it to blow it up, and then there's the electric thing, and then there's the gate alien thing.
Yep. I'm with you.
I didn't realize until I died 50 times that if I get there without getting hit, which you should do because it's pretty easy, you can do as long as you bought the upgrade at the checkpoint to shoot the charge blaster or whatever.
Oh yeah, you can hit him from
standing up on the thing. You never have to break it and then deal with the stupid electricity. Once I find that out, I was like, oh my God, I've died like 50, 60 times for no reason. Then you pogo down, and then there's the bloober thing goes and shoots electricity. So you got to time that perfectly, which is tough to do because your stupid pogo jump. You got a little pause before you boom, and then you could boom, and then you do the thing, and then getting through that, and then you get to the part. This is one of those parts where the checkpoints are so spaced out, it's ridiculous. You get to the part where there's water with electricity falling into it, with walls you have to blow up, and laser things that shoot in each direction, and I really thought, I got to the point in my last 2 or 3 hours of playing this game, I was punching, right here as hard as I could because I was like, I don't want to break the $70 controllers.
There's legit times where I've done that. And, Brittany will see me the next day. I've got, a bruise on my leg.
Yeah.
She's like, what'd you do to your leg? I'm like, I don't... Oh, I think I ran into the bed or something. I'm like, okay, now I'm embarrassed that I actually bruised my leg. But yeah, I beat the crap out of my leg.
I punched my controller a couple times because I was just like, and then I just like that. And once I got through that was the worst part of the game. There was a couple parts in Chapter 9. Again, more water, more electricity. It was just, it does seem like they made the game and then they were like, it's like back when we were making Mario Maker levels, I was like, yeah, but what if I
had
put
that
an enemy
exact
right
thought.
here?
There's plenty of Mario Maker levels that are just stupidly difficult and it's bad level design.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of times in this game where that's what it made me think of. I'm like, this isn't even good, challenging, difficult. It's just bad design. Unfair. Oh, God. Yeah. But I did like the game.
Some of the cutscenes completely reminded me of Ninja Gaiden.
I legit skipped everyone. I have no idea what the story was. I'm like, I don't care.
Well, that was my other note I put here. The stories, I wrote here, the story seems a bit much and too in-depth.
It seemed very in-depth. I'm like, I don't need cutscenes in this game.
At least when you were playing Shovel Knight, it was like, he's trying to rescue Shield Knight.
Yeah.
And beat
simple.
the bad guys. Okay, cool. This is like Ninja Gaiden meets Contra Hard Corps meets Metal Gear Solid, 4 levels of just insanity when it comes to and now I'm like, oh, that's actually not her. When you get to the final boss, oh, that's not her. She's down the thing, and then you beat me, and I'm gonna do ha ha ha, and you apparitor, you suck, ha ha, you ha ha ha. I'm like, can I just I swear, I'm hoping to beat this tomorrow because I can go in again fresh. I can be like, okay, I know the pattern of the first part. I'm learning the second part. Give me an hour, maybe I can finally beat this. And then as soon as I do, I am deleting this game and I'm never playing it again.
So the second part of the boss, when he shoots the thing that kind of follows you,
yeah,
and then when it lands, it goes,
yeah. You gotta
go to one edge or the other, let it follow you there, and then dash. That way when it lands, it lands at the edge, it's out of your way, whatever. The 5 things that come down, it's easy.
Yeah.
They don't
but
do
then
anything.
the
3
meteors,
that are like,
but then it becomes 4.
When it's 3, you kind of just do what you did with the thing. You just run.
Yeah, I did that a couple times. Yeah.
But yeah, once it gets to 4 of those and 3 of the other things,
it's like you gotta get lucky.
Yeah.
Oh, 3 of the bullet things, right?
3 of the homing things that then.
Yeah.
I still try to get at least 2 of them to follow me to the edge,
so I can still hit this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I was like this close to quitting this game and just deleting it when I was in Chapter 8, dying 100 times. Like I said, it was just
when you get to part 3, there's the main thing and then 3 other things. Kill the other 3 things first.
Okay.
You can kill them literally in 5 seconds, but that'll be the first thing you do.
Okay.
Just remember that. Third part's really not that bad, but it'll take you probably 2 or 3 times to kind of get a feel of what's going on.
Yeah, but the thing, that's the one thing I will say is if you get to a part where you beat a mini boss or something and then you die before you get to a checkpoint, the mini boss is still dead. or if you get to like a wall that's attacking you.
I hate
or
those
something.
contra wall
Yes.
things with like the things at the top and bottom and the thing in the middle.
That took me forever because
Oh
I
my
was
God.
like, I can only reflect so many shots at a time and hit him back at you. And then the things where the dragon's just by himself. Oh, no, there was a 3. No, that's the 3 wall things. The dragon's in the middle and the 2 things
And
on
then,
top.
those things. I hate those. There's only like 2 of them in the game. And the first one wasn't bad because you can take out like the bottom one before
Yeah.
they even
Before
know
the
you're
others
there.
activate, yeah.
But the second one you get
Yep.
to, they're all 3 awake at the same time.
Yep.
And yeah, that thing. Yeah.
This is like,
What I will say about the checkpoints, at least, is they always put them right before a boss. So when you die at a boss, you're right back.
well, that's
to
the thing
boss.
now.
Yeah.
So I tried the final boss like 3 times. I was like, at least I can just jump on the bouncy, the
boincy.
the bouncy thing and go up there and try him again, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. This game. So, like I said, we just put out a Habroxia 2 review. We gave it an 8 out of 10. I don't know what to score this because it pisses me off so much that I really do not know. If we got this game early and played through it, I would be like, it's either a 2 out of 10 or an 8 or 9. And I don't know which side I would lie on because, like, I really don't know a game I've played that is more difficult. Because, like we said at the beginning, Cuphead is easier. Demon Souls is easier. Bloodborne, I stopped before I really got into it and really got the hang of it. It's absolutely freaking ridiculous, the difficulty of this game.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I don't know that I would recommend you buy it if you haven't tried it yet. It's free on Game Pass, so if you got an Xbox, just go try it. But before you go spend $20 on PlayStation or Switch, just know that it is the hardest game ever made. And this isn't even like Ninja Gaiden difficult. Because Ninja Gaiden, it's like, I look at that
It's
differently
similar,
because,
though.
well, but Ninja Gaiden was limited by the 8-bit NES. You are playing this on,
Well,
we're playing the
yeah.
PS5 version with all of this power and everything, and you're still like you said, these cheap deaths and these spikes everywhere.
And why can't I duck?
And you can't freaking duck.
Gosh.
Solar has played 2 hours and he's in chapter 3.
When I played chapter
It
1,
gets much worse, James, just so you know.
when I played chapter 1, I'm like, this game is awesome.
Yeah.
Then as soon as I got to chapter
then the
2
flying
with the
bugs
stupid
show up.
bugs,
Yep.
I'm like, okay, these things are annoying. And literally every chapter, right up until the mech suit thing,
Yeah.
spoiler, sorry, it just got harder and harder and harder. And then that point was like, this is like
is
a
actually
nice
fun.
reprieve. It's fun. It's easy. And
then you go right back
into
to it.
Yeah. Yep.
So that is Cyber Shadow. Have you played anything else this week, Sean?
I did.
What?
So after Cyber Shadow, I'm like, I don't know what to
Palette
play.
cleanser.
I want to play something. Lo and behold, Wario comes through. I think it was Wario in the clutch. PSN collections, blah, 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 on sale. I'm like, let me see what's in there. And I saw it and I said, there it is. I'm finally pulling the trigger. I bought for, I think, $15,
Death Stranding.
Jak and Daxter Collection.
Oh, nice.
So I started playing through 1. I don't think I ever beat 1. I honestly don't know if I ever beat 2 or 3 either, honestly. The game, it's not like Mario 64, but it is not quite as good. I'm enjoying it, but it's not quite as good as I remember. The camera is not without its issues, but at least it controls like a normal camera.
Okay.
What's weird, though, and I noticed this, when you play a normal game, do you have Y and X camera regular, like not inverted?
Yes.
I don't even know. When I think about
Oh.
the X, I don't really know. I'm like,
It's
I don't
inverted?
Well, I don't really know which one's inverted and which one's not. So I'm like, I know I want Y inverted, and I usually leave X alone,
Yeah.
and it's what I want. So I'm like, okay, I guess I want Y inverted,
No, X is
not
regular.
inverted.
Then, yeah.
You can't change it in this. Y pretty much does nothing. If you go up and down, it's like it zooms in slightly and it zooms
Okay.
out slightly. But X, it's the other way. Like when I hit, so if this is, Well, I've got characters. What am I doing? If this is Jak,
YouTube.com.
Link is my cameraman. If I hit the stick left, it's like Link is doing this. It's like I'm moving the camera, and I don't want that. When I hit left,
you want to turn and look at the world.
Yeah, and so it's like
you don't want to be lackey to. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and it bothers me that I can't switch it. It is what it is, and weird. You can't change it. There's also, I don't know if this is like a Japanese. It's in English, but it's almost, unless things have just really changed, it almost seems as though it's like a Japanese version of it or something, because circle does a lot of stuff.
Oh, weird.
Circle, like when I pause it, I'm like, all right, I need to go back to the game, and I hit circle. It's selecting like controls or whatever I'm on. Circle talks to people. Like circle does so much. I'm like, this doesn't seem right. But it's a pretty easy platinum. As far as I can tell, it's basically
Are there 3 platinums?
They're all separate platinums.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't looked at. Well, I looked at 2. It seems a little more difficult. I haven't looked at 3, but it's probably pretty similar. 1, it's basically just like if you get, there's the power cells, which are like stars in Mario 64, or shines, or whatever they were in Galaxy.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Moon Odyssey thing. There's the power cells. There's the orbs, which are the equivalent of like coins. And then there's these flies that are in these certain boxes, and there's like 7 in each world. When you find all 7, you get a power cell. You got to collect. There's 2,000 orbs in the game, and every time you get so many, you can trade those in for a power cell. So it all converges at the power cells.
Okay.
If you get every power cell in the game, you get the platinum, because that means you beat the game. It means you got all the orbs, and it means you got all the flies. So it's basically get every power cell. And then all the trophies are basically, oh, you beat that boss, platinum trophy. Oh, you beat a boss. Here's your platinum.
15 platinums for one game.
Beat a boss. Here's your trophy. Beat this one particular thing for a power cell. There's a trophy for that. Beat this other particular power cell thing. Trophy for that. So if you get all the power cells, platinum. People online were like, you can do it in like 10 or 12 hours. I'm at 51 out of 100. I've been trying to just do everything as I go, so I don't need to go back and revisit worlds and stuff, but I'll definitely get the platinum.
I have never played Jak and Daxter. Any of them.
I like them a lot. I guess I've given up hope that I'm ever going to get like a remake or anything. So I went back and played it, but man, I know it's like, I think they originally did the collection for PS3. And then they're like, well, here, it's on PS4 now, too. It's basically the PS2 game. Like, they did nothing to it.
Oh, okay.
So, and I knew it wasn't like a remaster by any means, but like, it looks bad. When you turn it on, it's, and it just says PlayStation 2. Like, it's all the old, like...
they just, like,
they literally, basically, yeah. But it's fun. It was a very nice, I mean, I'm not done with it yet, but it's a very nice palate cleanser. I'm looking forward to 2 and 3. 1 is just a lot more straightforward and simpler. There's also Jak X Combat Racing or whatever. I don't know that I'll ever
in the
play
collection.
Yeah, included with it. I don't even care. I really just wanted 1, 2, and 3, but I don't know. Maybe I'll check it out. Maybe it's an easy platinum. I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah,
but
James Solar says he would highly recommend the Spyro trilogy on PS4. It also has 3 separate platinums. It was platinums number 3, 5, and 21 for him.
I never really played Spyro. I think I played like probably the original Spyro, like the PlayStation 1. I don't know how many there have been now, but is it a similar kind of, is it like a Mario 64, like go to this world, collect all the things? Is it that kind of game?
From what I understand, yeah.
I would maybe check it out. But I mean, this collection is going to keep me occupied for quite some time now, but yeah, that's all I've played.
I also played Fenyx Rising: A New God DLC. And if you have the season pass, you were probably boinked for like most of the first day that this came out on PlayStation. Everybody was complaining. Ubisoft tweeted me yesterday like, "Hey, we're looking into it." I'm like, "Bro, I've been playing it for like 3 days now. Where were you when this actually didn't work?" It seems pretty cool. It is not what I thought it was going to be when it was called A New God. It's not like you're doing tasks for Hades or Poseidon or anything like that. It still revolves around the 4 main gods in the game plus Zeus. And if you have not beaten the game yet, James, you probably beat it by now. I didn't see. Don't play it because it spoils basically the ending about Fenyx and all that stuff. It tells you in like the first like minute, and you're like, whoa, crap. But it tells you before you play it, like there's story spoilers here, just so you know. But it's all about ascending.
Do you pick up with like your save file? Like, do you have all the stuff?
So it's weird. You can bring over. They max you out whether you start a new game or not. You can import your character, but all it does is the
appearance.
Yeah. It is heavily so far. I'm almost through Athena's quest. I've been playing it for like 2.5 hours. I've almost beaten her thing. Now, that playtime's not accurate because I played about 45 minutes in her like vault. There's no more Tartarus vaults because obviously, but there's vaults that are just like happy and bright and everything, and they're all.
Does it like clear out the map, like all the previous things?
There's no map. You go to a whole new. It's like if you flew. It's like the GTA heist. You go from San Andreas over to the Cayo Perico or whatever. It's a completely different map.
Okay,
you're like up in Olympus. But Olympus is floating for some reason. So it's not the Olympus.
It's still all like snowy and crap.
No.
I hated Olympus was by far my least favorite part of that game.
Yeah. Well, because you're like, I don't know where to go. I'm freezing. I'm fall. No, but this I've done I'm on my 4th vault now, and I think after this there's one more in Athena's area and I go from there. But anyways, no, I was playing it for like 45 minutes. And then when I turned I was like, turn it off, whatever. Turn my PlayStation back on the next time, and it wouldn't recognize my controller, so I had to turn it off at the console and then turn it back on. Lost all my progress, but it kept my time that I had played. It just kicks you right, because if you're in a vault, you can't save it. It'll just bring you back to the beginning of the vault, so I had to do all the puzzles again, and that pissed me off. But it seems like it's probably going to be about 10 hours of content. Like, and it's more.
Are there any new, like, mechanics, or just here's some more?
The only thing so far that I've seen that's new is there are these stamina orbs. Like there are some parts where you have to fly and glide like on the air gusts and stuff like that you can run into these stamina orbs to refill your stamina a little bit, because you cannot use any potions in this DLC. And there's the one combat focused part I got to. There was one vault that was combat focused, and you have no potions. So first off, I have to go back in and relearn how to play this game, because I played Demon Souls and Cyber Shadow before that. So I got to relearn how to do it. But it's not like I can just be like, whatever, I've got 20 potions. What do I care if I get hit? No, now I have to remember, first off, square is dodge, not circle. I had to remember that. And then I had to remember how to actually focus, like lock onto somebody. But I finally got the hang of it. I got through it. And then when you walk through the doors after you beat them, there's like the red egg thing or whatever, like some of the vaults where you can refill all your health.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't use potions, but you do have that waiting for you. But I really like it so far. It's more Fenyx, which I'm perfectly okay with.
So is most of the new content, is the map basically just an overworld? Like all of the stuff is within vaults? Or is there enemies? Like, is there stuff going on in the overworld?
There's stuff going on. I haven't seen any enemies yet.
Okay.
It's very like, it's Olympus. It's very peaceful. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. There was a couple of the cutscenes where Fenyx or Hermes were like talking, but they were just like, well, that's weird. I remember their mouse moving, and then they start moving. So it's like, I don't know if they were rushing to get it out because it was supposed to come out a week before based on leaks and stuff and whatever. But I think once I do beat Cyber Shadow, I'm like, okay, this is going to be a nice, although some of the puzzles are a lot different, but I think it's going to be a nice thing for me to just be like, okay, more Fenyx. Let's beat this DLC. And then I got to go back. I got to Platinum Miles because I want to just be done with that and delete it.
Oh, yeah.
And that'll be my 60th, unless I can figure out how to get my Vita to download Habroxia too. But yeah, I definitely think it's worth playing. Just don't play it if you haven't beaten the story yet, is what I would say. James says the Platinums for the Spyro games are about 8 hours each, he thinks.
No, it's not bad. I mean, it's less than Jak.
That is correct. Sean.
Yes.
This is already going longer than I thought it did. Do you want to get the news of the week?
Sure.
We all knew this was going to happen, but it seems like Stadia is dying its inevitable death. This comes from Kotaku, later confirmed by Google. Google Stadia, the late 2019 streaming platform that promised to revolutionize gaming by letting users stream games without needing to own a powerful PC or console, is altering course, getting out of the game-making business, and will now offer its platform directly to game publishers alongside offering Stadia Pro to the public. The company is announcing the news today, though Kotaku began to hear rumblings from sources close to Stadia last week that Google's service was heading for major change. One games industry source told Kotaku that Google was canceling multiple projects, basically any game slated for release beyond a specific 2021 window, though they believe games close to release would still come out. Today brings some clarification. Google will close its 2 game studios located in Montreal and LA. That closure will impact around 150 developers, one source familiar with operations said. The company said it will try to find these developers new roles at Google. So you can go work on Gmail, I guess. I'm sure that's your dream job. Jade Raymond, the veteran producer who helped to build Assassin's Creed for Ubisoft and moved on to EA several years ago before leaving to run game creation at Stadia, is exiting the company, according to Google. Google will continue to operate the Stadia gaming service and its roughly... Wait, why did I say roughly? And its $10 monthly Stadia Pro service. It's unclear how many, if any, exclusive games will still come to the service, though the company has indicated that it can still sign new games. What are you signing? It nevertheless will look to many like a drawdown of the plan to have Stadia run as a bona fide competitor to console platforms, which we all knew was going to happen. The company plans to begin offering its Stadia tech to publishers, opening up the possibility for Stadia to become the streaming tech for other video game companies. Google's head of Stadia operations, longtime console executive Phil Harrison, will focus on pursuing these partnerships. Obviously, we were right.
I mean, I think everybody...
How long did it last?
last?
It came out November 19, so barely a year, which is basically what we said.
Wow.
I mean, it's still going to exist, but it's dead.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not celebrating it. It sucks for the developers, but, like, come on. This... yeah, I don't know.
Especially with everything that Xbox has been doing with xCloud and stuff. They've been doing it right. Stadia, from the beginning, it's like, oh, you can stream games and stuff, but you have to... It's a subscription... But then you also have to buy the games.
Yeah.
And then you don't own them because if you cancel, then you lose the game. It was like, what are we doing? Like, they were set up to fail from the beginning. I hate it for everybody that's working at Stadia right now. Hell, Jared Petty works for Stadia. So I don't know what's going to happen to him. It's just nuts, but this was never, ever, ever going to exceed in 2019, 2020, or 2021. Xbox can do it because they have built the Xbox brand for 20 years, and they have Microsoft backing them, which is a lot more competent than Google, at least when it comes to like public relations and trust and everything. This was always going to fail. I remember when they first announced that they were doing their own first-party gaming studios, I was like... BS. This is not going to work, and it's probably not going to happen. And here we are. Yeah. Sucks for everybody working there. They just got ahead of their skis. It was never, ever, ever going to work.
Nope.
Next up, apparently, we could have a new KOTOR game coming. This comes from IGN. A new Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic game is reportedly in the works and is not being developed by EA and BioWare, the studio behind the original game. As reported by VGC, who just reports everything now. This latest rumor comes courtesy of credited Star Wars insider Bespin Bulletin, which is hilarious, who spoke on a recent BOB, the podcast episode, Bombs Over Baghdad. Podcast. I don't know what I'm saying. And said that it's to be in development outside of EA and that, quote, we'll never guess who the studio is that's making this game. Amongst my digging, I heard there's a Knights of the Old Republic project in development somewhere, Bespin Bolton said. So that's a person?
There's no.
Now I'm confused. I talked to a couple of people, and I also found out that Jason Schreier said that it's not with EA and will, quote, never guess who the studio is that's making the game, end quote. Bloomberg's Jason Schreier had previously spoken of a potential KOTOR project, both on Reset Era and Twitter, and his words echo Bespin Bolton's comments. Did you ever play KOTOR? I'm going to guess not because it's Xbox, but like,
no,
I want this to be a thing.
I hope so, yeah. I mean, I would definitely be very, very interested, but no, I never played the original.
I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about, well, at least the second one, I guess, is a little bit more mixed, but the first one is supposed to be just amazing at that time. You can't go back and play it now. Even if this is
two?
Yeah. Even if this is just like a remake of the first one, I would love it. As far as you'll never guess what studio is making this, that's what's weird to me. So it's not EA, it's not BioWare. I don't even know. I'm trying to think of a developer that's been quiet for a while that makes really good RPGs. And nothing comes to mind. So I hope this is true, but I cannot for the life of me think of who it might be that's actually making it.
Yeah, I got nothing.
So my interest is piqued. We will wait to see what happens. And last on the news, Sean. I know you were worried about this, but Konami is not shutting down their gaming division. Whew. This comes from Push Square. There were reports earlier this week that Konami had effectively closed down its entire video game business following an internal restructuring plan announced on its corporate website. As part of a press release, the Japanese publisher revealed that it intends to dissolve 3 production divisions from 1st of February, quote, to respond to the rapid market that surrounds us, end quote. Given the already tepid output of the organization compared to its past, some outlets put 2 and 2 together and came up with 5. That's funny. Of course, representatives from the firm have been quick to deny the speculation, saying, quote, the announcement made refers to an internal restructure, with production divisions being consolidated. We have not shut down our video gaming division, end quote. The publisher went on to explain that the restructuring will allow its development teams to report directly to upper management, thus allowing for faster chains of communication. We're definitely getting Metal Gear 6 now. We know that Konami is working on a next-gen version of Pro Evolution Soccer for the PS5, which will scrap the Fox engine and utilize the Unreal Engine instead. There are also rumors of new Silent Hill and Metal Gear Solid games, although that feels like wishful thinking these days. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Now, time out. Do you really even want a Metal Gear Solid 6?
No.
Okay.
Unless,
but if it was, would be.
Wait. I want a
with
Metal
no
Gear
ties to Kojima.
No.
Yeah.
If they license it to Sony and Kojima Productions makes it, hell yes. Fill in the gap. Make Metal Gear Solid 6 Metal Gear. 1.
Singular sensation. I feel like if Metal Gear Solid 6 was announced by Konami, no ties to Kojima, you would still lose your mind. As long as it didn't look absolutely terrible from the jump.
My name is Snake, but actually, I'm Gray Fox. And then I could be like... Basically, a lot of reports were going around saying that Konami was shutting down games. They're not, but this still doesn't mean anything when it comes to what we hope are Silent Hill and Metal Gear comebacks. Because I really don't think... Colin's been saying for a while that he's pretty sure Metal Gear Solid 6 is being made. I don't know that I believe that. They would have to have the most giant cojones imaginable to do that. I think if they want to do that, I think
there might be Metal Gear coming, but it won't be Metal Gear Solid 6. It'll be another Rising Revenge. It'll be another, like, Metal Gear in name only.
That they have to do something, either license it to Sony or do a remake themselves or something before they ever try to put a 6 on a Metal Gear game, is what I think.
Yeah.
You have to win people back, even if it's not you making the game, win people back before you try to put a 6 on a Metal Gear game.
Yeah.
And now it's time for the wrap-up. Returnal has been delayed until April 30th so they can work on polishing the game. I still don't get that game. I really think they've screwed up. I cannot see that game being worth... I love Housemarque. Resogun's awesome. That should not be a $70 game.
I feel like it won't be. I don't know. That seems just totally out of place.
Part of me, I do have to say, I haven't seen anybody else say this, so I'm going to say it here first. Part of me wonders if they delayed it to April so they can just make it part of PS Plus for PS5 for April. Because they've been doing it every 2 months. You know, Bug Snacks, Destruction All-Stars, whatever. Like, I don't know.
Maybe.
And then whoever pre-ordered it, just give them a refund. Be like, we want people to play this game, but nobody's going to pay $70 for it.
Yeah.
God of War is getting a PS5 upgrade finally tomorrow as we're recording this. Yesterday as you're watching it.
Finally. A whole 2 months after the console launch.
No, come on, man. No, that's not fair. Days Gone got an update. Lots got an update.
Unless I got an update.
It will sync, whatever this means. It will sync to 60 frames per second, 4K checkerboard, and 2160p support. I'm like, what is it? 4K? I don't get it, but it'll be fun whenever I go back and play it before Ragnarok actually comes out. Now I know that I can play it in PS5 mode. AMD has said that chip shortages could last until the second half of 2021, which means if you don't have a PS5 or a Series X or S, good luck.
Ugh.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Because even once they get the chips to Sony and Microsoft, they got to build the stupid machines, and then they got to ship them. It's absolute mess. I hate it for anybody that doesn't have one but wants one, because it's going to be that this Christmas. It's still going to be impossible to get these things. Is what I believe.
I don't know about that, but it'll be that way. I think through the summer anyway, at least into the summer.
MLB The Show 21 is officially out on April 20th. 420.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. And it is also officially no longer PlayStation exclusive. The exclusivity ran up, and to keep making the game, they said you have to put it on other platforms. And the release originally said it will begin as early as 2021. It is beginning 2021. You can pre-order right now MLB The Show from Sony San Diego on Xbox. I cannot wait to just see somebody boot it up on their... I mean, I won't see it, but I just can't wait to see it on YouTube. Like, here's the Xbox Series X version, and then it says PlayStation Studios, and here's like Ratchet and Kratos and stuff. Oh, it's so weird. But I am glad it's the best baseball game out there. I'm glad more people can play it. It was just announced today that the Switch has now sold 80 million units. It has outsold the 3DS. The Switch Lite is about to surpass the Wii U. Just the Switch Lite.
Is the 80 million just not
total,
including?
No, both. No,
okay.
that's both.
I was going to say. I mean, still, but wow. Good for them.
3-4
because of that Animal Crossing.
Breath of the Wild is now over 21.4 million sold. I want to be like,
It's
that's
still
awesome. But then
putting
I'm like,
up
yeah.
Pretty good numbers.
Yeah.
Like,
hopefully 2 is better.
hopefully Zelda is Builder.
Hopefully it will finally be Builder. I want it to be better than Horizon this time, but I don't think it will. I swear if they both come out this year. 343 has announced they're committed to at least monthly updates on Halo Infinite, supposedly starting with this week. Maybe by the time this goes live, they've already done an update on it.
Got to see more of Craig.
Poor Craig. Y'all done did Craig dirty. Whatever I said that time.
I don't know why he cracks me up so much.
Because he's just... Master Chief's like... and he's like DICE Awards nominees were announced. The Last of Us Part 2 leads, of course, with 11 nominations. Game of the Year nominees, and also Ghost got 10 nominations, so that's pretty cool.
Good.
Game of the Year nominees are AC New Horizons, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost, Hades, and The Last of Us Part 2. So basically everything from the Game Awards, except I think Doom Eternal got nominated at the Game Awards. I feel like there was 6 nominees, but I'm trying to think of what's not here.
I feel like Doom was. Yeah.
I think it was Doom. Okay. Nintendo has confirmed that players do move slightly faster in Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, and Cat Mario can now climb higher.
Ooh.
Oh, my. Am I going to get... Yeah, I'm going to get it. That's why I got to beat Cyber Shadow, beat Phoenix, Platinum Miles, delete all that. Not that it has anything to do with my Switch, but delete it in my headspace so that I can buy this and maybe we'll play through it again. Who knows? Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is now the best-selling Musou game ever. It's already sold over 3.5 million copies.
Do you just not care?
No. The demo was fun, but I've got so much to play now that I can't be bothered. Biomutant is finally coming out this May. PS4 Xbone. Lord of the Rings Gollum was the latest 2021 game to get delayed to 2022. Shocking no one. It was announced that the next Tomb Raider game will mix new and old games, which I assume means that we're going to have dinosaurs in Tomb Raider. But also after they did this 25th anniversary video, they were like, and we are not announcing any games today. Well, you just told us what the next game is going to merge the old games with the new trilogy. So, but you're not announcing a game? Then what are you talking about? What are we doing? Also, Netflix announced that a Tomb Raider anime is coming. Speaking of Netflix, Sonic Prime, a 3D Sonic series, is coming out in 2022. I think this might be the longest wrap-up I've ever done.
I was going to say, this is pretty long.
Game Pass is now over 18 million subscribers. Bleeding Edge from Ninja Theory will no longer be getting updates just 10 months after its release. Because they're making Hellblade 2, and nobody ever cared about Bleeding Edge, and it's a stupid game. You can tell I'm done with this update. And finally, PS Plus games were announced for February. And every time I say, oh, I don't know, the PlayStation could be Xbox.
When was the last time PlayStation had a bad month? It's been well, like last summer, I think, probably. Like they've been nailing it.
They don't have as many games as Xbox, but the quality.
But there's
better.
like at least one home run every month.
Speaking of one home run, Control Ultimate Edition. You can get it if you have PS4 or PS5. Will be free on PS Plus. Destruction All Stars. We already knew that. And Concrete Genie, Sean, there's a platinum for you.
I feel like you did not really like that game.
I got the platinum in 10 hours. I liked the story of it. The controls could be a little quirky, and getting the collectibles sometimes were a little annoying. And sometimes you would look at the world, and like the part of the world you were in, you didn't know what you had to paint to progress, like where the lights were that you had to like turn on and stuff. It'll make sense when you play it. It's free. It's definitely, you will like it enough to play through it and get the platinum.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably get it.
So once again, PS Plus wins. Also, Control on the PS5 will have 1440p ray tracing and support for the DualSense. I think I'm going to try Control.
Oh, I'm definitely going to try it.
Because, I mean, it was IGN's Game of the Year. Everybody loves it. The only reason, other than I was just too busy when it came out, it sounded like it ran on base PS4s like crap. But this is the PS5 upgrade version, like I said, with 1440p ray tracing and DualSense. I definitely want to check it out.
Yeah.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is it for this episode of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. Thank you all so much for being here. As you know, you can find us at thenerd901.com. I sound like an old lady when I say the. I don't know why I said the. Nerd901.com, where they are connecting nerds across the Mid-South and the multiverse. Also, while you're over there, check out Ernie the Blurred Without Fear and everything he is doing over there. He's kicking ass, and he is taking names. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at KevinWhite24. He is at Real Sean White. Together, we're at 2player_. Well, that was a weird thing.
I'm running out of things to move.
just do the thing. Co-op. I never finished it because you went. You're like, you had a hairball. Patreon, Twitch, YouTube, all the things around the world. Thank you all so much for being here for episode 218. We'll be back next week, but until that time, Sean, let's go record some Let's Plays.
Thank you for playing.
Messed you up.